to really tell the story properly, you have to start with the fall of the angels. There's some crazy stuff.
How's it going, everyone? Today we're talking about Jesus' death and resurrection, but we're looking at it from a very interesting angle. Some would say a very strange angle. This angle, this interpretation, forces us to look at the resurrection from the spiritual realm, or as Dr. Michael Heiser would say, the unseen realm. The fallen angels, Sheol, the origins of Satan, it ties all of these things back to Jesus and lays out the context for why Jesus died and the significance of his resurrection. Now, you might be asking, what on earth does this have to do with Mel Gibson? Well, Mel Gibson is currently working on The Resurrection of the Christ Part 1, a sequel to the internationally acclaimed The Passion of the Christ from 2004. And based on what he's been saying, it looks like this interpretation is serving as his inspiration. So, in today's video, we'll check out one of his interviews as he explains what exactly is going to be in this movie. Then, we'll take a look at a clip from Gary Wayne as he breaks down this view completely. Finally, we'll watch an interview from Randall Wallace, a writer for the movie, as he explains why there are so many Christians who are not familiar with the story and why this movie had to be made. So, without further ado, let's check out this conversation between Mel Gibson and Joe Rogan.
I'll just tell you this, it's an acid trip when we wrote it. It is like, I've never read anything like it. And my brother and I and Randall all sort of congregated on this, so there's some good heads put together, but there's some crazy stuff. And I think in order to really tell the story properly, you have to start with the fall of the angels, right?
Yeah.
See, that's incredibly interesting already right there. To me, that tells me the sequence of the fall of the angels is not going to be the only time we see the fallen angels. It also tells me this movie is going to lean heavily into the unseen realm, because why else would we need that context? This movie is not going to be another retelling of the story that we all know. It's telling the story of the spiritual battle between good and evil, and why the resurrection of Jesus Christ is God ending the war before the enemy even had a chance.
The fall of the angels, right?
Yeah.
Which is, you're in another place. You're in another realm. You know, you need to go to hell. You need to go to Sheol.
So you're going to have hell, you're going to have Satan, all that?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Sure, you gotta, yeah.
Right.
You gotta have his origin.
Wow, okay, so not only are we going to get the fall of the angels, we're going to see the rebellion in heaven and the fall of Lucifer, the origins of Satan. I mean, I guess it makes sense. If we're going to have an entire movie about the resurrection, we have a lot of time to play with. Might as well tell all the context. Now, my question is, what origin are we going with? It'll most likely be Isaiah chapter 14, but as you know, as we've covered on this channel, Isaiah chapter 14 isn't necessarily the origin of Satan, and Lucifer isn't necessarily his name. So I'm really curious as to how they're going to tackle this in this movie.
You gotta have his origin.
How do you depict that?
This is a good question. And I think I have ideas about how to do that, and ideas about how to evoke things and emotions in people from the way you depict it and the way you shoot it. So I've been thinking about it for a long time. So it's not going to be easy, and it's going to require a lot of planning.
Yeah, this has never been done before, I don't think.
And I'm not wholly sure I can pull it off, to tell you the truth. It's really super ambitious.
Yeah.
But I'll take a crack at it, because that's what you got to do, right? Walk up to the plate, right? So I think I can get it, but it's not about me, you know.
Right.
It's about something else.
Right.
Well,
So-
if anybody can do it, you can do it.
Well, I hope so. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's trying to find the way in. that's not like cheesy or obvious, but that actually it's almost like a magic trick in a sense. It's diversion. It's obfuscate this, show that. Look over here. I don't.
Yeah.
It's
Do you have a title?
yeah. It's just like the resurrection of the Christ.
Mm.
Yeah. It's like so. That's a title, and yeah, it's very ambitious. That's all I'll say. It took a long time to write. It's really ambitious, and it goes from like the fall of the angels to the death of the last apostle.
Do you have a start
Wow.
date?
I don't have a.
Wow. From the fall of the angels to the death of the last apostle? Okay, see, this is something I've always wanted to see on screen. The story of not just the resurrection of Jesus, but what happened after that. And we're going all the way to the death of the last apostle? Okay, that is ambitious. That makes me want to see this even more.
It's a massive thing, and theologically, it's something that you have to really look at
Right, exactly.
and make correlations that ring true, because it's not all written.
Do you consult with someone like a biblical scholar?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Multiple from
of
different
course,
denominations, hopefully.
There's your own a thing that comes into it from having read the book a few times. You read the book a few times, and it's amazing how your memory, how there's these recessive files somewhere in the background, how you can correlate this piece to that piece over there. And that's
Right.
important, because juxtaposition is everything with this story. And what it means in a bigger picture.
Yeah.
So it's hard to explain, but it's quite involved.
Yeah. Well, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Now, before we take a listen to Gary Wayne, I want to set the stage. According to this interpretation, the fallen angels, the evil forces of this world, are plotting to kill Jesus Christ. They're pulling the strings of the Roman soldiers, the unbelievers, everybody who hated Jesus. And they're manipulating the board in an attempt to end this war by killing the Son of God. Little did they know, that is exactly what God had planned. By dying, Jesus Christ saved every one of us, every single person on the earth at that point, and every single person that will ever live. God pulled the rug out from under the enemy. They were in a war for our souls. Now, the war is over. Jesus died for our sins. We just have to believe, and we have our salvation. Now, let's take a listen to Gary Wayne as he explains Jesus' death, his descent into Sheol, and what happened while he was there.
And when you start to place that now in context with 1 Peter 3, where it's talking about Jesus after he's been crucified and his physical body has been killed, and he is could be in his spirit form, could be in his body form, we're not told, but he is in Hades or Sheol, and he goes to a place where the spirits are imprisoned. These are the fallen angels, both before and after the flood, that created the giants and did the worst things to humankind. And these are also, as are in the sides of the pit prison in Ezekiel 32, the terrible one. These are the worst of the giant, the offspring of the fallen angels. And he's speaking to them. Now, we're not told what he says to them, but within 3 days, he's going to be resurrecting. So we know it's going to have something probably to do with that. It's going to have something to do with the crimes that they did. And he's communicating with them. And my speculation is he is saying, just as I said I was building my church and announced that at Mount Hermon, I am now telling you something that you didn't know, that I'm going to resurrect on the Sunday. And when I do, your rebellion is over, because through that resurrection process, we're going to adopt humankind as my brothers and raise them up to be like angels and above angels as the inheritors of eternity.
Can you imagine that? If this is indeed the interpretation that Mel Gibson is adapting, can you imagine seeing this on the big screen, seeing Jesus descend down into Sheol and come face to face with the enemy, with the fallen angels, with the Nephilim? Just imagine that imagery. That will be such a powerful moment after the torment that Jesus went through the crucifixion, to now seeing him standing tall, coming face in death, coming face to face with the enemy and saying, "You've lost. I have come to save my children, and you can't have them." I'm telling you, it's going to be a powerful moment. I'm a big movie fan, and I have a whole other movie YouTube channel, and I'm definitely excited to see this on the big screen. Now, we have one final interview with the writer of this movie, Randall Wallace. He explains the differences in how Protestants and Catholics view the resurrection, and why Mel Gibson, who was actually hesitant at first, decided to make this movie.
I dare anyone to come up with an assertion that there is a bigger story to tell than the resurrection of Jesus Christ.
Absolutely.
There's a writer named N.T. Wright who says, if you don't think the resurrection is preposterous, you've missed the point. it's that. So I have been fascinated with the resurrection since I was a boy. When you come to that part of the story, that's the part that the gospel writers found mysterious. And the notion that here are these common people, these disciples, fishermen, tax collectors, prostitutes, tavern owners, and they followed this man Jesus, and they believed in him, and now he's gone, and they're terrified. And 3 days later, it doesn't matter what you do to them, they will not stop saying they've seen him alive.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, you can explain that any way you want to, but I don't know how you explain it except to say, this
Randall, I'm
blew
with you.
their minds.
This is an important point. Either the apostles went absolutely insane and were willing to die, they were willing to give their life for something they didn't even believe in, or they witnessed something remarkable, something that touched their hearts so much that not only did they dedicate their entire life moving forward to it, they went around the world and spread that message like fire till the day they died.
Mel had directed Hacksaw Ridge. I wanted to go with him for the promotion of the movie. Now, Mel is a devout Catholic, but we were going to go to a lot of Protestant churches to promote the movie. And we were having dinner one night, just the two of us, in Dallas. And I said, the thing we need to do is the resurrection, because the passion. Now it's an interesting thing. Catholic friends have said, and I don't want to over characterize anyone's particular practice, but in Catholicism, there's much more emphasis on the crucifixion, on the passion. One Catholic friend of mine said, we almost never talk about the resurrection, and a crucifix for a Catholic, Jesus is on the cross. For a Protestant, it's Christ has risen. He's off the cross. And we need to tell that story. And he got really quiet for a moment. And I knew he was like, and Mel is absolutely brilliant. And I knew he was listening really intently. And I said, I'll write a screenplay, give it to you. We'll write it together. You do whatever you want to do, but we need to get going with this. This is the Mount Everest of all stories. And he got...
That's really nice to hear. that they're approaching the story of the resurrection of Jesus Christ with such reverence, that they're saying that this is the most important story that you can possibly tell. It's really nice to hear that.
This is the Mount Everest of all stories. And he got quiet again, and he said, I'm going to have a mass said for you because Satan's going to come after you.
Mm.
And I said, Mel, Satan has so many Baptists, he doesn't care about them. It's just like, he's got all the Baptists he wants. What about you? And we need to pray for you. And now it's beautiful when somebody wants to have a mass said for you. But I said, but he knew that it was the greatest challenge you could really take on. And it's a testament to him.
Right.
That it
the
was
integrity.
It was the challenge, the danger, and one of the things he said to me was, this can't be for the money.
Right.
It can't be to prove anything to anybody. It's this, our hearts have to be pure.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you, for all the other things, and he and I have had some amazing conversations down through the years. Now, I knew at that moment how dedicated he was and that this was really going to be a ride. And the thing that I can tell you about it is that it's going to be unlike anything anyone has ever seen.
Wow. This movie has the potential to be something special. If they have entered this creative process prayerfully and with integrity, and it seems that they have, this movie will be more than just a movie. It will be a ministry. It will be able to bring people closer to Jesus, just like the Passion of the Christ did. Well, that's going to be it for me. Let me know what you think about all of this. Are you looking forward to the resurrection of the Christ? Mind you, this is going to be a two-parter. There's going to be a part 1 and a part 2. So are you looking forward to these movies? And what do you think about this interpretation of Jesus' death and resurrection? Let me know all of your thoughts down below in the comment section, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.